Ecclesiastes 7:12 and 13. Sweet is the sleep of a laboring man, whether he eat little or much, but the abundance of the rich will not let him sleep. There is also another grievous evil which I have seen under the sun. Riches kept by owner, therefore to his own hurt. You know, being lazy and also having a love of money, they're two different extremes. One, they're letting everybody else take care of them, just doing whatever, not learning their own way. And then one is they're owning their own way too much and taking every opportunity they can to where other people don't got anything. We as Christians should have a balance. We should look out for others and not try to gather all our money as riches. And then we also should try to take care of our own. Not give everything away to where people have to take care of us. And it's the balance. Okay. Judges something. Judges 2:15 through 23. Okay, Judges 2:15 through 23.
Way to go.
That's tilted there. Okay. In everything they undertook, the Lord's hand was with them, for mischief, as the Lord had threatened, and as the Lord had sworn to them. They were in great straits, and the Lord raised up judges, and they saved them out of the hands of their pilgrims. So, at this point, they pretty much got independence. They just got to rely on God. But they messing it up because of their whole idolatry and following after their own self. That God decides, hey, these judges that I put in place, you need to listen to them. You're not able to do it on your own because you're obviously going to not rely on me. You're not going to rely on the word that I gave you. So I'm going to have to continue giving you words to draw you back to me. Today his word is completed. So if people don't go to his word, then they're going to not be reached, most likely. If they never receive the word, they're not going to come to him. And they saved them in the hands of their pilgrimage. So the judge's job was to keep them in line so they could conquer the land that they had entered. Completely conquered it. Because in the first chapter you see how they are rebellious and not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And neither did they listen to their judges, but prostituted themselves to follow other gods and did reverence to them. They quickly left the road their fathers had gone in, obeying the Lord's commandments. Now, we see in the book of Hosea how it compares the relationship, God's relationship with Israel to a marriage. It's similar, doing a similar way like right here. Because they're being unfaithful to God. It's considering it like they're committing adultery on God. They're going after other gods besides Him. They're just going after cheap things that will make them happy for a time. So in here we see that comparison as we see in Hosea, where he compares their relationship with God to a marriage. They're unfaithful to God because they're doing all this with these fertility gods. They're following them and they're showing them honor when they should be showing God honor because He's the one that's real and the one that's there for them. They just got to turn to Him. They did not do so. And when the Lord raised up judges, for the Lord was with the judge and saved them out of the hands of their enemies throughout the time of the judge, because the Lord repented at their groaning over their oppressors and molesters. So these people are mistreating them. They didn't conquer the land, so they're kind of outcast. They're kind of viewed as, okay, God was behind you, now He's not, and where is your God now? Type attitude these people having towards Him. So of course they're going to be hard on Him. They don't want them in this land that they're in. So they're going. When these people, the way they see things, the best thing these people could do is leave. If they cause them to leave, they're fine. Until then, they're going to get what they want out of them, regardless of how they react. And that's the mindset of these people here. God takes mercy on them. Even though they're not faithful to God, God shows mercy. You know, the people that rejected Christ from the cross and mocked Him was the very people that He died for. And we see that, we can compare that to what happened here. God, these people are not following God, they're following the Baals and Asheroths, but God still takes mercy on them because they're His people. You know, the Bible says when we were yet sinners, He died for us. He loved us. He cared enough, even when we were sinning against Him, to consider us, and that's what He does here. God's character never changes. He doesn't approve of the sin they're doing. He just takes mercy on them because they are sinners. And at the judge's death, they went back to doing more viciously than their fathers, following other gods, worshiping them. So what happens here is God puts this godly man in charge, and they follow him for a time. They follow him for a set period, and then he dies, and then they go back doing what they want. This kind of shows that their direction isn't focused completely on God, but the one that God puts in charge, which is very dangerous, because an ungodly man can be in charge, they would not follow God. But if there's a righteous person, the righteous person would see the ungodly man in charge, and there is many people in Scripture that where ungodly men are put in charge, but they still choose to follow God. The man that's put in charge does not affect what they do with God. And doing them reverence, they did not drop any part of their practices or their stubborn course. So they went right back to what they were doing. They went back to the fertility god, going to the temple, doing all this sin against the Lord. And the Lord was angry with Israel and said, since this nation has violated my covenant, which I commanded their fathers, and not have been obedient to me. Now their covenant was that they follow God. They stay true to Him. They keep serving Him. They follow His commandments. They make Him their Lord. By serving these fertility gods, by doing what they wanted to, they were breaking this covenant. God's part was that He'd given them this land. They haven't conquered this land yet because they didn't have faith in God. But there's still some of them in this land. God's allowed them to get there. So, I, on my part, will not dispose before you any more of the nations that Joshua left when he died. So, God's going to stop helping them. You want to conquer the land, you want to follow these fertility gods, do it. I'm not going to help you conquer this land when you're not serving me. That's exactly what God's telling them. God's no longer behind them because they ain't following Him. You know, eventually God lets people turn over to their sins. You know, He kept trying to draw this generation back to Him, but they wouldn't listen. He tries to draw people to him, but they don't listen. And eventually he just lets them follow their path of destruction, and that's what he's doing with Israel. In order to test Israel by them, whether he kept his ways walking in them, as their fathers had kept them or not. And the Lord left these nations by not disposing them quickly, and did give them into Joshua's hands. So it reminds him of what he did for Joshua. You know how Joshua followed me, the Lord's telling him. And because he followed me, I delivered him into their hands. And you could have did the same if you were willing to follow me, but because of this, you're not going to possess this land. You're not listening, you're not following me, you're not keeping my commands, you're not serving me. So I'm not going to give you anything more.